Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Hope y'all having a great day. So, today we are doing the first workshop for the Chicago Engineering Design team for the mechanical side. Today we're going to be installing SolidWorks alongside building a small table. So, UIC provides a free SolidWorks license for all students. So, to get there, we're just going to look up UIC bookstore. Lamau. 1 minute. UIC bookstore. SolidWorks. So, first link SolidWorks Education Edition Premium Student Access. Right. So, you are going to log in. You're going to log in with your UIC, like login, password, all that. It'll take you to a different page. You're going to add to cart. Am I already logged in? Wow, guys, look at that. Okay. I'm going to do it. All right, we're going to do this. We're going to add to cart. We're going to log in. You're going to agree to the terms of service, check out, and then you're going to get a licensing code. Now, you want to remember this licensing code because it will be asked in the SolidWorks. Anyway, you're going to click this fun little button where it says download available. Click. Wow. And now you can do that. I have already downloaded it, so what you're going to do, you're going to let that download. And after you finish downloading, you're going to go downloads. Put it. Tee. Anyway, so for me, it's right here. You got your SolidWorks. You're going to click. You're going to extract all. And then afterwards, you're going to get a little folder like this. So you're going to open it up, set up. You're going to run as administrator, and you're going to do the whole download process. So after you do all that, you're going to be able to just type in SolidWorks 2025. Okay, cool. Hello. Well, it was there for a second. Okay, there's SolidWorks 2025. Alrighty. So we're gonna go to home part. So you're gonna every time you open up SolidWorks, you're gonna get this. As you can see, I've made this table quite a few times. Wow. So we're gonna press part. It's gonna load for a second. NVIDIA overlay. No, I'm good, thank you. All right. So let's start with the first workshop, which is building a table. So we got our SolidWorks. We got a bunch of tabs up here. This is how you move around SolidWorks. You're gonna look. Each thing has something different. For the purpose of this, we're going to get familiar with Sketch and Features. So Sketch, this is where all of your basic 2D sketches are going to be. Who is texting me at this hour? Never mind. Anyway, so we're going to do Sketch. So since we're doing a table, it would be best to start in the top plane since we're going to be making a slab. So we got our top plane. We're going to hit this corner rectangle. We're going to touch the corner, drag up. Wow. Small side note, it's very important to know which measurement unit you're in for future projects. So to check, you're going to see down here, it says IPS, inches, pounds per second, and you can switch that to millimeters, centimeters, or meters, depending on your project. Nope, we don't want that. Moving along, we can see that our measurements units, we also can see that we have something that says underdefined. So, underdefined, exactly what you think it means. It means that the sketch that we're currently working on is not fully defined, and that's no good. So, to fully define a sketch, we are going to click Smart Dimension. We're going to click the tab or the side, and then we're going to actually give it a value. So for us, we're going to do 2 inches by 4 inches. 2, 4. Wow, cool. So now we're going to go to Features. We're going to click Extrude. And now we can actually give our slab some length. So I'm going to give it 0.5. So now we can see. Cool. So we now have our slab. Now, how do we move around SolidWorks? We have a 3D object, but how do we move around it? There are 3 ways that I like to do. The first one is your mouse wheel. If you hold on it, you can actually just move around like this. Wow. The second one is if you hit the space key, you can see all the different faces. And if you hover over it, if you look to your right, it will give you a like preview of what it will come up as. So we'll see here, 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 here. So you can move around like this. And then the last way, if you click up here, it says view orientation. Excuse me. You can actually just click it like right there. So we're going to use ISO because that is the best view, IMO. But hey, feel free to disagree. So we have our table here now. Now we're going to want to put some legs on our table. So what we're going to do, we're going to hit space. And since we want to be on that bottom, we're going to hit that bottom plate. Wow. Then we're going to do sketch, sketch, and we're going to click this plane, rectangle. Oh, we did it wrong. We did not touch the corner. So I'm going to hit escape to exit out of the drawing and do it again. So we got 1, we got 2, we got 3, and we have 4. Now, we have 4 different lengths. We're going to change that. We're going to go to Smart Dimension, going to click. We're going to do 0.25 for each leg because I would like that. Feel free to change your length. Your table doesn't have to be exactly like mine, but it is just to show. Yes, we're going to do, each square will be 0.25, 0.25. A small thing to note, it still says underdefined because we have 4 different like squares in our sketch. You'll notice that if it's blue, if the line is blue, it is underdefined. If it is black, it is fully defined. So we're going to keep going. 5. See, as we're getting through, just keep watching. 0.25. 0.25. Click. 0.25. And click. So once we do this, we are now fully defined. So that's good. We're going to go to features, extrude, and we're going to give it 5 inches. 5 inches. In units. Enter. Hello? Okay, cool. So for some reason it didn't work, but that's okay. We're going to go to sketch, extrude, 5. And then we're going to hit the check mark. And we're going to go back up here to view, ISO. Nice. Okay. So we have our table, but I think we can make it look better. So if we look over here, there's a little thing that says fillet. And this makes a small like cut on our edges. So we can click, and we're going to click the edge. And we're going to do, I'm thinking 0.25. Now, before we do that, we can also click full preview to take a look and see what that'll look like. So our table will have an edge that looks like that. So let's hit that check mark. Okay. So that looks pretty nice. That looks pretty nice. We're going to work our way around. I'm going to do this over here. But yeah, let's click our edges. Let's give it a quick fillet. We're going to keep doing that, by the way. Each one should be about 0.25. So we're going to do that. Space. Click the next one. So we move around. And then we're going to click the edge. Fillet. 0.25. Make sure that all of our values are right. Beautiful. Work our way around the table. And we made it to our last edge. How cool. Fillet. And green. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, so our table's starting to look pretty nice, but I think we can do maybe 1 or 2 more things. So, still using the fillet tool, we're going to click, and we're going to hit fillet. So, now we can get a curve on the top. 0.25 feels a little big, personally, to me. I'm going to go with 0.10. So, when we hit enter on this, that'll actually show us how much it's taking off the top. So now we can see that. So we're going to hit that green check mark. Nice. Okay, look at that. Last thing we're going to do, we are going to go back to that bottom plate. So we're going back to the bottom. We're going to go sketch, sketch. We're going to touch the corner. So make sure you're on the back. Let me rephrase that. So make sure that you're actually on the back of the table and not the legs, because that would not be great. So we're going to touch the back of the table. Okay, guess not. Going back to our sketch, we're going to escape, or not. We're going to press the rectangle. We're going to touch one corner and line it up with the other corner. Cool. And hey, fully defined. Love to see it. We're going to go to features. We're going to do extruded cut. All right. Now I'm going to hold the middle wheel so I can see how much we're actually taking off, and that is quite a bit. So they want to take 5 inches off. I'm thinking more like 0.25. Nice. Okay. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Nice. Okay. But yeah, we got a table. If you feel like maybe your legs are a little too long, that's what I'm thinking. So we can go back here, click, edit feature. So now it'll show up again. And I'm thinking maybe we can do maybe a little less. Let's do like 4. Let's see what 4 looks like. Okay, we're getting there. Honestly, I lied. I'm gonna do 2.5. Teehee. We're gonna do 2.5 inches. I think I like a little more like a coffee table. All right. But yeah, that is our table. That's pretty cool. So that concludes our first workshop. Oh, wait, one more thing before we go. You can take a look at your display settings and you can actually like change how your little part looks. So you got shaded, you got hidden lines removed. This one's my favorite, personally. Hidden lines visible, so that will look like that. So when we go back to our ISO view, that looks pretty sick. That looks pretty nice. And then we have all the lines are like bolded. Yeah. I think that is where I'd like to leave off for our first workshop. So thank you very much for everybody who sat and watched all this through. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, or cheap shots, feel free to let me know in the Discord. And yeah, hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. And let's get this degree. Oh, before this is future George now. One thing I forgot to mention is that we want to make sure we save our parts. So after you're done with your part, we're going to hit Control S. This will bring it up. I'm going to call this Table 4 because this is the 4th time I'm doing this entire video. Lamau. So we're going to do Table 4. Save. Always save your work. You don't want to wake up one day and be like, dang, I low-key didn't save my work and now I got to start over. Low-key inconvenient. So, save your work. Much love.